Okay, this is a cool in your jets out in Gilbert, Arizona. Yeah. For this particular video blog, I think I will speak as normal as someone that was giving a public talk from a platform at the local Kingdom Hall. As one of Jehovah's Witnesses, now a X Jehovah's Witness, I spent 15 years, as they call it, a slave to the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society. The only reason, really, to be honest with you guys out there in the world, as to why I become involved with religion in general, because I was raised as a reorganized Latter-day Saints, which was the Joseph Smith split with the LDS, or I don't know exactly how all that played out. That was what, in the 1800s, I think. But anyway, with the ones that went west, I think, I'm not sure, the Latter-day Saints that went west to become what you call the modern-day Mormons. That I think a lot of it had to do with, or at least explained to me, polygamy. But that's beside the point. Which the reorganized Latter-day Saints rejected polygamy, and the Mormons didn't. So anyway, okay. So basic point here. This is an old article, you know, and the flat Earth debate. See, and I didn't actually, you know, I didn't even actually get interested in the flat Earth debate until probably around 2010. You know, I never really thought about it, didn't even give it a thought. You know, my original intention of getting on the internet and actually subscribing, or not subscribing, but opening up a channel that was my own personal channel on YouTube was basically because of a UFO group I had, and the interest I had in a paranormal experience I had back in about 1983. I've left a few comments that can probably be found on the internet where I describe what had happened with what they call the shadow being, you know, and it was quite an interesting experience, and that really is probably why I got involved with the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society Religion of Jehovah's Witnesses when I was about, I don't know, this would have been in '89. I was living up in Macon, Missouri at the time. Anyway, the person that drawed me into it and got me interested in it was actually the ex-husband of the woman that we were living together, as they call it. We weren't married, no. Living together. And had been, probably for a couple years. But, yeah, I didn't know it. She never told me, but she had been one of Jehovah's Witnesses, and her ex-husband was an opposer, and a lot of things, you know, that I won't mention here, you know, problems in their marriage, probably due to the religion. Anyway, so, but indirectly through him, and some situations that happened with his daughter's asthmatic health problem issues, etc., stimulated my interest in and kind of brought up some haunting pasts and who we as humanity really are, and our search for truth. So the thing that got me really out of religion when I was a teenager raised in the LDS, or reorganized Latter-day Saints, was the fact of the hellfire doctrine, you know, the idea that a human being that was not considered you know, worthy enough would burn forever. You know, I look at those scriptures completely different nowadays. I'm not necessarily a keen person on biblical doctrine, ideology. I try to put them in their proper perspective. If anybody has followed any of my information on my channel, you know, I'm more into nowadays trying to explain that all scriptures are personifications of astrological observation. You know, I have a flat earth reality check for Jehovah's Witnesses here, you know. Flat earth, sacred geometry, ball earth, 180 degrees out of sync. If one of Jehovah's Witnesses run across my website and or a X Jehovah's Witnesses and they want what I would consider the purest truth in contrast to what the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society has taught since Charles Taz Russell's photodrama creation, which in that photodrama creation he depicts the world being a ball orbiting a sun. Yes, take into consideration that the earth is 180 degrees out of sync with geometrical space-time and geometry. That is a basic truth. And so, you know, I throw in the idea that NASA understands this, you know, flat earth orbit of International Space Station, Armageddon, Bible flat earth, Illuminati in plain sight. You know, over here's my Antichrist 666. Actually, about 2 months ago, I put up my first one that was, you know, based around the Earth being 360 degrees out of sync. You know, and really, I got back on YouTube because I had 600 videos at one time up. I got back involved with YouTube recently because I wanted to, you know, I had other interests. I wanted to do some barnstorming, some urban, what you might call urban camping. This is an experience that I tell about. The first couple, well, actually it was the first month that I lived here in Arizona, that deals with the moon, you know, but when you scroll through some of my moon videos here, I did several days in a row of documenting with my cheap camera what I could about the moon. And you know, because the astronomers, I point out in some of my videos that the astronomers, yes, our modern day astronomers, they are the ones that are the pain in the ass, you know, con artists, manipulative, and they know it, you know, but they deny, and that's what they do. But see, you cannot deny the most simplest fact, and that is that the earth is indeed 360 degrees out of sync on the basic concept of a orbit around a ball sun and a ball earth circling around that halfway 180 degree arch opposite side of a parallel line from one side to the other based on time as we count our years, especially in the context of, because some people started throwing in sidereal astronomy bullshit, you know, 4 minutes, one day is actually 4 minutes short. And it adds up to make up for that. This is the logical fallacies they throw at you too, and they use these logical fallacies in religions. You know, if you've been one of Jehovah's Witnesses, they've used logical fallacies on you dozens of times to keep you in that cult, and that is what it is. As I'm going on and on with this, it's been 9 minutes. I don't want to make this too long. I don't want to be boring, but the most basic fundamental truth, and this flat earth stuff goes way back, you know, the flat earth argument, ball earth argument goes way back, and a lot of it has to do with the simple fact of moon phases. Of course, I have a video in here that talks about merry-go-round in the sky, flat earth, you know, that kind of explains. My videos are very short and they just give you a generalization idea of what you can look for to explain the reason why the crescent moon phenomena would indeed, you know, give the appearance that the earth is, and the sun, you know, is a ball. And I can understand, but if you overlook this simple logic, the most absolute simple logic of the sun being in the middle, the earth orbiting 182 and a half days, opposite side of a parallel line, space-time. Yeah. See, and nobody wants to debate this because even Hollywood makes movies based around this. One of the movies, I think, what's it called? Turk 182 was a movie made back in 1985. You know, it's kind of the word Turk literally kind of has a lot of application towards like the magic, and of course 182 days would be a half orbit, you know, and the movie line's not about flat earth or anything, but you know, the sublime arguments are out there everywhere. Like I said, the people in Hollywood, they don't believe the earth's a ball, believe me. The people at the highest levels of Hollywood that are in the cliques, they don't believe the earth is a ball. But yeah, so on and on. Gosh, it's been 11 minutes. I better shut this down for right now. I might post this as a part one if you guys are more interested in listening to what I have to say about my personal experience, UFOs and shadow beings, and or as to why I got involved with Jehovah's Witnesses. Bottom line was, you know, I really, as a child growing up in religion, you know, you have respect for this particular book they call the Bible. And, you know, as a child, I remember my parents had a great big one, really thick ones, you know, thick ones. And it had the red letter. It was one of the kind you had a little stand for and you set it out on your coffee table or something, you know. And I asked Dad one time when I was a little kid, you know, Dad, what's the red letters in this book for? And I remember him saying, those are the words of God. Anyway, so hey, thumbs up, subscribe, don't subscribe. I really don't care. But if you're one of Jehovah's Witnesses and you want to make a very valid point, about religion and Russell and Watchtower Bible Tract Society being an Illuminati cult kind of mind control concept, Earth, whatever you want to call it, the world as we know it, you know. REM has a song. How's it go? It's the end of the world as we know it. Think about that, X Jehovah's Witnesses, because you're constantly being told the end of the world is coming. The end of the world is coming. You know that. You preached it worldwide with all your occult brothers. That's a mind control cult set up and designed by Illuminati occultist bullshit mind control, whatever, etc., etc., etc. So 13 minutes in. Oh my God, you guys, remember to do me a favor. Have a good day.